Good afternoon, good evening. It's 4:15, February 28th, the last day of the month of February. And I debated whether or not I was actually going to do this video or not because it's kind of sensitive. This is going to be a story time video, and I decided to go ahead and do it because I said I was taking you guys along with me on my journey, hoping to retire from 22. I've been a nurse, 22-year nursing career. Well, in 4 years it'll be 26 years. To retire to be a full-time crafter. Well, and the ups and downs, and maybe you could take away something if you decide that you want to do your business and you're working full-time, or you want to retire and do what you love, what your passion is. I just want to be an encouragement to you guys, and that hopefully that you can achieve your dreams no matter how old you have become or how late you start. It's never too late as long as you have breath and you have strength and the ability to move and think, that you can do it. And along with that journey goes ups and downs, and it's not the fact that things negative happen, it's how you handle them. But if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Sabrina, and I am owner and operator of Brina's Charming Creations. And what I do is I hand make women's accessories, purses, bags, hair, scrunchies, what else, laptop case, whatever, key, wristlets, and anything else that I think that that a woman might like in her accessories, and I make them by hand. I also resell clothing also. And I make hats, and being a nurse, I do nursing bonnets, all that type of thing. And so I realized that later in life that I am a creative person, and I love anything creative or anything crafting, and that is what I would like to spend the rest of my life doing, is what I love and what I'm passionate about. Nursing has been a wonderful career, don't get me wrong. However, it's has changed, especially after COVID, and it's a lot more like a business instead of caring for people in a lot of cases, especially in the nursing homes. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is the fact that I got fired unexpectedly. It was not anything related to actual patient care, and that's the thing. Pretty much, I believe I made the administrator pissed off, and he decided he just wanted to fire me. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because it's so crazy. I lost a 6-figure income job overnight. And it was on my day off. That's the crazy part. I lost my job on my day off. I wasn't even in the building. So, I'm not trying to be bitter. I am not, I don't know. What's the word I want to say? Yes, I'm upset. I'm upset with the way things went down. I'm upset with the fact that after 6 years of being in that building, 6 years of service, loyalty, that the administrator threw me out, just like, I liken it to just throwing out the garbage. Never spoke to me, never gave me a chance to give my side of what happened. He sent someone to do it for him that really, she's new, brand new. She just does whatever he says. And that's what he likes anyway. And the fact that people who I thought had my back did not have my back. and that's corporate America. You think people are not so much your friends, but you think, you don't think that they are against you. But when you know who your true people are, who truly have your back, is when things go down and you see how they react on how they act towards you, and how, what they do to help. Because I don't believe that I should have been fired. Maybe written up, yes, but fired, it's crazy. Like I said, I was a nurse manager. I had been there for 6 years in that facility, and it's a nursing home. I'm not going to say the name, but I will say its initials are FC, so you can take it from there. I had actually been working for the company 12 years, because this would have been 12 years. April would have been 12 years, because I worked 6 years at a prior building, and then I went to this building that I just got released from on will be 6 years. So loyal, I've always been loyal to the company. I've never been a job hopper. Every job has its faults. Every job has things you like and things you don't like. I mean, that just comes with the territory when you're working a 9-to-5 job. I feel as though I'm good at what I do. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of knowledge to share, and I love to teach, and I love to share with others. And I feel as though I was a fair manager, but I'm human and I do make mistakes, but it did not warrant what happened to me. Thank the Lord that I had money put away, and that I wasn't behind on anything, because that's devastating. To one day you have a full-time job, the next day you have nothing, and you don't even really know why. Because I know part of the reason why, but like truly how harsh they were with me, it's crazy. Pretty much I can't get into details because, of course, HIPAA, I'm a nurse, so I can't really. But needless to say, it was over a complaint that a patient had. And the nurse, I'm in charge. I have nurses under me and GNAs, nursing assistants. And so basically what happened was, the nurse came to me and said the patient had a complaint. We get complaints every day. You don't know the amount of complaints. Some are warranted, some are just frivolous, some are serious. You don't know. It has to be investigated. So when she approached me, it didn't seem as if there was anything that was wild or that it was like crazy. And I had totally intended to go back and, because we have to go back and interview the patients about what their complaints are. Having that position, you have people coming at you from all sides. You have people coming at you with all types of issues, all types of things going on, and they're pulling you in every which way and every which direction. And sometimes if you don't do something, like say if somebody comes to you with something, if you don't like address it right away, you sometimes forget to go. You intend to go back and do it, but then you have 15 other people coming at you or 15 other things to address, and you actually forget. If you're not reminded, you forget to go back and check on the thing you intended to go back and check on. And so in this case, this is what happened. I totally intended to go back and interview the patient about what happened, and I forgot in the midst of all the other things, and I left that it happened on Thursday, and it happened on a night. The complaint was about something about an aide on night shift, but I totally forgot to go back and interview her before I left for the day, and I was off on Friday. So apparently what happened was the family members called and they were extremely upset. And so then I got a call. Did you know what happened? No, all I know is that the patient said had a complaint about the aide being rude. Nothing else. I don't know any of the total details because, like I said, I forgot to go back and interview the patient. I really did. It was an honest mistake. However, it's not anything that couldn't have been taken care of, which they did take care of it on Friday. I'm not the only person that's in charge of taking care of complaints. Other people are there. We all supposed to be a team, so they say we're a team. But somehow they're blaming me that I did not say anything, like I was trying to hide something. Like what? It makes no sense. When it was just an honest mistake of me forgetting to go back directly and interview the patient. Next thing I know, they're calling me. They said they were going to write me up. Yeah, I was upset. Of course, who wants to be? I take pride in my work. I don't get written up for stuff. That's correct. I've been a nurse for 20 some years and I've only, minor things. And most of the time, if I ever do get written up, it's not about patient care. Okay. It's because maybe I might got a smart mouth or something, or I get along, or have an argument with a coworker or something. But never patient care. Okay. So yeah, I was upset, which I had every right to be upset. Who wants to get written up? So basically they were telling me they're gonna write me up, blah blah blah, and it was a final written warning, like this is it, if it ever happens again you'll get terminated. Okay, I still thought that was a little harsh, but all right, fine. Then a couple hours later, I don't know what these people said, but they called me back. Well, we're gonna suspend you now because it was said that you knew all that happened and you didn't say anything. What? No. Only one person said something to me, and I didn't. And the details got expanded. Like I said, I did not go back to interview the patient, so I don't know what other stuff she might have said. Okay, but I didn't know. So now we're going to suspend you. Mind you, suspend you pending investigation. Guys, y'all know what that means. Y'all know what that means. When they tell you some stuff like that, I've been working too long. I've been working since I was 14 years old, and I am 55 years old now. If they tell you that we're going to suspend you pending investigation, most of the time, that means they're trying to get rid of you. Okay? And then you got to get your stuff, and then they're going to march you to the door. Embarrassing. No, you're not going to do that to me. You're not going to march me after I've been loyal. I've been a good employee. I've, put up with a lot of bull crap, and you just going to just instantly just get rid of me over something that it wasn't like a devastating event. No. So I went in that weekend. Yes, I did. I went in that weekend and got my stuff out of my office because I knew what the next step was going to be. You're not going to parade me in the middle of the day and escort me to the door like I'm some criminal. No, you're not doing that. I just innocently went, got my stuff, and left. Now, had they called me back and said, well, investigation is over, you can come back to work, I might have probably would have came back. I would have probably had a different attitude and just been quiet and just did what I had to do and leave while looking for something else. But I would have probably came back because I want to do things the right way. I would, you're supposed to give notice. As a manager, you have to give at least, I believe it's 3 weeks notice before you quit. And I would have done that because I am older now. At one point when I was younger, I would be a hothead and just, if you made me angry or you pissed me off, I just walk out and I'm gone. Bye. I've learned. I'm mature now. I don't do that type of thing. That's not my MO. And the fact that, the administrator who I thought would know that I don't do stuff like that, I would think that he would have the decency to approach me or ask me, or at least hear my side of the story, to give me the benefit of the doubt. That did not occur. And that's what hurts the most. Not so much, honestly, not so much being fired, because technically, for real, guys, I feel like I've been let out of jail. Because sometimes jobs feel like bondage. And being an entrepreneur is scary because you don't have a steady source of income. 1 week you might make $1,000 or $2,000. Sometimes I've made over 1,000 in 3 days, less than 3 days. And then there are other weeks that I don't make anything, or I might make $5. That's scary, guys. So when you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, that is the scariest thing. And it's easier and it's less draining for a lot of people, especially me, when you have a little bit of anxiety, to have that steady income. But the thing about it is, when you're working a full-time job and trying to build a business, sometimes the job is so draining because you give so much to that job that when you leave that job, you don't have enough to give to yourself in your business. And that's what was happening to me. And so I guess if you believe in God or a higher power, he knew what needed to be done, and he cut it. So in some ways, I'm kind of thankful. I didn't want it to be like that. I did not want to leave my job like that. But, maybe God had other plans. And I don't know. So when I say this is part of a learning experience, I have learned. And also the fact that being an entrepreneur, when you have these ups and downs, it's not the fact that having up or down is the bad part. The thing is, how do you handle it? So how am I going to handle this situation now that I don't have a job? And I do need some type of other steady income, because that's what makes me feel comfortable. I can't, right now I'm not in a financial situation where I could just depend on what I'm doing, because it's still growing. I'm still building it. I'm still, like you guys know, I'm still new to social media and everything. So I'm still learning. And so I'm just going to go back out there. Maybe I'll do agency. That's the good thing about nursing. It's flexible. And when you have experience, and I have other people that's out there that's looking out for me. And I know I'll be okay. At least I pray, Lord. Y'all, please pray for me. Comments. Help me. If you have any ideas, or if you're in the Maryland or Baltimore area and you know any places that are hiring RNs, please leave it in the comments for me, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know what was going on, and hopefully, let you guys know that, yeah, things happen, and you have to be able to press on. Okay, don't let it get you down. Just press on. And that's what I'm going to do. And I thank you for listening. I just needed to vent, I guess. And please like and subscribe. Help my little channel grow. Thank you.